Listen, this is not supposed to be free. Like, I genuinely can't believe I'm giving this away for free, to be completely honest. And without this funnel that I'm about to show you, it's going to be very difficult for you to make money. And the problem with you watching this video right now is that you're trying to optimize your landing page, A/B test, make changes to your landing pages or funnels, but you don't even have the right funnel in the first place. So you just end up blowing your budget, wasting a ton of time, and you get a ton of clicks to your page, but you don't make any sales, you don't book any calls. And at this point, we've worked with well over 30 businesses, and to be concise, 32 businesses, and we've helped them generate $5 million in the past 12 months. And we've created a system for coming up with the right funnel structure for our clients. And the most important part is that this works for every niche. It's fundamental. So without further ado, let's get right into it. We'll go from here all the way to the back, which is the close, but there's a ton of content for us to go through here: pre-framing, reminder sequences, guidelines, everything. But let's start with the ads. So first of all, your ads, this is where your traffic starts, correct? And ideally, you should be setting your ads up as you're setting up the landing page, because that way you just save time. But you can, set up the ads after you set up the landing page, whichever way you choose. But usually the landing page should be done by the time the ads are up. Otherwise, you have nowhere to send traffic to. So on the ad campaign level, we need this to be a CBO campaign. So it's going to be CBO means campaign budget optimized. So basically, the budget is going to be optimized at the campaign level instead of the ad set level. We're going to have one ad set, and you're going to have the dynamic creative ad setting on. So this means that you can upload a number of ads and then allow the algorithm or Meta to cycle through the ads and pick the best one. That's what this means. And the budget is also going to be split across each of them. So if you find one that performs better than the others, it's going to allocate more budget to that one on the surface level. That's how it works. We're going to have 5 hooks on one body. So you want to create 5 hooks and then edit those hooks. Like when you record the 5 hooks, you want to edit each of the hooks onto the body. So that way you have 5 ads. You can have 2 bodies depending on what you want to test first. I usually like to go with 1 hook and then 5 hooks and then 1 body, because that way I can test the hook first and see what the majority hook is. Now, the 2 main people you're going to write to are needs convinced and in market. So in market is going to give you better ROAS. They buy quick and they're more qualified than you. You must write for them, right? And the reason is because it's easy to say, okay, you want to target the other parts of the market that, might not be ready to buy, but then it just takes a lot more effort. It takes a lot of framing. It takes a lot of education for you to get to those people. But for these people who have the pain, who are struggling with, a certain problem that you can solve, is better to go after them, because that way, you can get people who are going to buy very quickly. Now, this doesn't mean, people directly thinking, I need what you're selling right now, because a lot of them will, but it's people who actively need what the product gives. For example, for my service, which is landing pages, it will be something like, got a launch coming up. It's directly tied to a landing page. So if you have a launch coming up, which means you need a landing page, right? Hopefully that makes sense. And these people also technically in markets, for example, looking for a way to lower your ad costs without touching your ads. All of these are in market as well. But the best would be, do you need a landing page? Because this one is direct. But also these ones that we just covered, got a launch coming up and looking for a way to lower your ad costs, these are also technically in market, because all of this stuff is tied directly to the landing page. Let's head over to the ad scripting section here. So you're going to write 10 hooks. And by the way, I'm going to show you the prompts that you're going to use. We're going to go over that in a second in order for you to create these ads effectively. But you're going to write 10 to 20 hooks, write 2 body copies, pick the 5 best hooks and the best body copy, record each hook separately and keep the same theme. Obviously, if you're recording like in this setting that I am, you obviously have to record in the same place so it feels and it flows naturally. You have to edit each hook onto the body so that you have 5 ads that you can test using the dynamic creative format. Can't fucking say this shit. But anyways, this is how you find the majority hook, by analyzing your ad metrics and finding the one with higher conversions, where you're getting the most sales, where you're getting the most book calls. That way you can find the hook that has more resonance, and then you can create variations of that hook, and that way you can expand and scale. Now, one very important thing, you must avoid classical conditioning. Now, classical conditioning is when people are, conditioned to respond a certain way to a certain type of thing. That could be a word that people say. So, for example, in the agency space, for instance, a lot of people say, when they're writing ads, they say, coaches, consultants, agency owners, like it's burnt out. Like there's a lot of people using that hook, and for that reason, when people see someone using that hook on the ad, they immediately just want to scroll past it. Now, does it mean it's going to completely fail if you try? No, but the thing is that the effectiveness is it's way more ineffective right now than it was, let's say a year or 2 years back, if that makes sense. Because now what people are going through when they see those ads, like it's called classical conditioning. Now, the next thing is you must be very articulate about your prospect situations and problems. Bro, I don't know what this... Okay, anyways. You must be very articulate about your prospect situations and problems. So if I say something like, so maybe you've watched a number of YouTube videos trying to understand how to build a structure, a funnel, but most of them are filled with fluff, and you're just clicking this because you're looking for that one video that will make everything click for you. You're going to listen to what I say. Like what I said is probably... it's most likely going to be your exact situation, and that's why you're watching this video. So you're going to listen to me. So the way you say this is also very important. Your tonality, the way you express it is very important. That's also going to affect the way people respond to that ad. So good types of hooks. So you can use interest-related hooks. So let's say you're selling info to young kids. You can use like a 20-car garage. Or a very nice place, or like an airport or a private jet, stuff like that. They resonate with that stuff because they see it and also they aspire to be there. The next one is pain-related hooks, circumstantial related, describing the circumstance, dream state-related, mindset-related, speaking directly about how someone is thinking. This is powerful, right? And also when you're selling to rich people, you need to be very direct. You need to be fluffy. You never need to make them feel stupid. You need to confirm what they already believe, because rich people have egos. It's very different when you're selling to people who are still getting into business, who don't have money. It's two different things. When you're selling to someone who doesn't have money, you're trying to get them to, let's say, join a business model like a BizOp. You speak to them very differently. You can use emotions. You can pull emotional triggers, because the level of awareness, consciousness is like way lower than someone who's already made money, who's way more mature. It's very different. They're not in rich people are not in fight or flight mode. They're not they're not begging for solutions. They're looking for things that are going to elevate them, but it's not like they're in kind of a bad situation that they need to get out of. Yes, there's some that might be in those situations, but for the most part, these people actually are just looking for ways to elevate themselves. So a good example would be me paying for a consultation, or someone coming to me to pay for a consultation, right? The person coming to me to pay for a consultation, or me paying a consultation, I'm already making money. So you probably already can tell. And I'm paying money not because I am in a dire situation where I need to make money, but because I want to elevate, I want to make my marketing skills better, or I want to elevate myself in some way, shape, or form, right? Hopefully that makes sense. Now, for rich people, obviously, your language should be confirming what they believe, make them feel smart, make them feel like they're coming to the conclusions themselves. So instead of, telling them, oh, if you don't do this, you're never going to make money. You should use something like, landing pages are an essential part of the process. And, it's essential for a perfect launch. So you already know that this is essential. So that way it makes them feel like, oh, when you use stuff like you already know, obviously, it makes the person subconsciously accept what you're saying, because it validates what they already think, or it kind of auto accepts it. Like it's just how the brain works. And it works extremely well, especially when you use something that those people actually believe in. So if I tell you right now, you're watching this video, you're probably a smart person and you know other smart people. So if I say something like, you obviously know some other smart people, you're probably nodding your head right now. So that's just how it works. Now, that's it for the ads, and we're going to walk through the prompt. So this is the prompt that you're going to use. And before you use this prompt, you need to make sure that you have at least 10 call transcripts, 10 qualified sales calls transcripts, because this is what you're going to use now to feed ChatGPT and then put in this prompt, right? So you're going to use this prompt to identify the objections, the objections and responses, the drivers of purchase, the language and phrasing. This is extremely important because you need to phrase it in the particular way that these people talk. If someone says, "Oh, I'm struggling with my landing page," or my conversions aren't where they want it to be, I've actually done this. Right? I said, maybe you're making changes right now, but your landing page conversion just isn't where you want it. Just your landing page conversion isn't where you want it to be, or the landing page just isn't where you want it to be. I don't know if that's correct, but that's how I phrased it. The next thing is your tone and sentiment. And there's an amazing video that I watched from Charlie Morgan. Before you record an ad, you need to make sure your energy is high, because people can feel that energy. You're trying to sell to people, and if you come across as someone who is not confident in what you're trying to sell, it's going to make it very difficult for you to, sell them on your solution. It's going to be very difficult, and you need to, something I did actually was, watch some of my testimonials and see, okay, saw the results that we're getting. People looked at, our client results, looked at the amount of money that we've helped our clients generate, the kind of landing pages that we've helped them build, and just the general impact that we're having. And that made me feel good. Also, I played a lot of, loud music, just getting myself in that zone, getting myself in that mood. And as a result, and also smile when you're recording ads. So as you can see now, I'm trying to smile, and my tone immediately picks up because I'm smiling and I'm trying to give you this information. So it just comes across more friendly, and it also makes people way more receptive to the message that you're trying to pass to them. So you're going to paste in this prompt. That's the number one thing that you need to do, and you need to have 10 sales call transcripts before you do this. At least 10 qualified sales calls. So the next one here is so once you have those, once you have generated all of these answers, the next thing you need to do here is, so you need to fill this in. All right, I can show you the rest of this sheet because there's some information there that I'm not sure I can share that with you guys, but I'm going to share this with you. So you're going to fill this in. You're going to ask ChatGPT, who are they? What are they saying? What are they doing right now? What is and what is not working? Have they worked with other companies like yours in the past? What did they do? Did it work or not? And it's going to give you this kind of answer. So I'm going to show you actually what my prompts gave me, so that way you get a good idea of what I'm saying. I'm not just fluffing here. I've actually done this myself. I've done my research. I've done hundreds of calls at this point, over 100 calls. So I don't know what this is. But you can see here, who are they? We have this: a finance entrepreneur, funding business owner. These are all of our clients. I remove the names for confidentiality. Just keep everything. Sales agency owner. So you can see the structure here is the same. And then you go to what are they saying? Our landing page is absolutely terrible. I hate WordPress with passion. My landing page is bare bones. So I'm not going to give you guys all of this, but you get the point though. You can see their concerns. You can see what is working and what is not working. What are they doing right now? And that's what you need to fill in. And once you have that, then you can now start creating your ads. You can start creating your ads based on all of that information. Now you can start writing your hooks using those pains, using who they are. So for example, let's say, let's look at this one, for example. So I remember I had a hook that's like, I'm giving you guys this away. I'm not even supposed to give you this. You guys should be paying for this, to be honest. And by the way, if you need a landing page funnel VSL for your info product, coaching or consulting business, or whatever business at all, you know that you're struggling right now to build it yourself. Maybe you're making changes, but your landing page is not where you want it to be. You're trying to see if you can figure it out yourself. Your conversions are just tanking. Your cost to acquire clients is just going up. Click the link in the description. Schedule a consultation with me, and I'll see if and how we can help you. We've done this for over 32 clients, and we've helped them generate $5 million in the past 12 months. So it is very necessary that you do this if you want to move forward. However, you only do this if you think it's the right decision for you, which you're a smart person. This is something you probably you should do if you're a smart person. If if that makes sense. But anyways, let's get back to the video. So and by the way, we have the highest level communication. Like every single one of our clients that we bring on, like the experience that they get is always better than the last. Like every single one of them. So I just want you guys to keep it in mind before you come on. Obviously, when you book the call, you're going to see, we'll do your due diligence for you. We'll show you, okay, these are situations where these clients did not, like every single one of our clients has gotten the results they wanted. But there's clients where, it's maybe difficult to get them the results because of certain actions that they take or certain behaviors that they have, certain personalities that they have. But overall, our clients get incredible results, and you can take a look at our landing page, and that's going to speak for itself. Let's get back to the video. I know that was a little rant on our service. Anyways, let's get to... I don't know if I completed this, but basically you want to create the ads using all of this information. So you can say something like, are you a finance entrepreneur who's trying to build a landing page, but your landing page is just terrible right now? Or your landing page is bare bones. You just use their specific message based on who you're trying to target. That's what you need to do. Now, we'll go to the opt-in page. Now, there's two different routes you can take here. You can either go to the opt-in page, or you can skip the opt-in page and go to the VSL page. But we're going to break down the opt-in page. So the goal of your opt-in page is to get people to the next step of your funnel, which is your VSL page. And your opt-in headline should be very similar to your VSL headline. So as you can see here, this opt-in page for one of our clients, you can see, discover how the timeless principles used by history's greatest achievers can transform your business and life in the next 90 days. And you can see it's very similar, but also just slightly different. You need to just make it slightly different. This should make them, very curious to figure out what the offer is about. And then this should also make them curious, but they should just be slightly different because there are two different goals here. This one is to make them opt in, and this one you're trying to get them to, book a call or whatever and make a purchase. So let's let me remove myself over here. So basically, like I said, the opt-in headline should be very similar to the VSL headline, nothing crazy, and you don't need to make it very complicated. As you can see on this one, it's very simple. You just need a headline, eyebrow text, sub-headline, some benefits, and the opt-in, that's it. You don't need to make it complex. You can also add social proof if you want, but keep it very simple, ideally. Now, you can also decide that you want to go directly to the VSL page. Now, the VSL page, I love the VSL page, and we recently started running our offer direct VSL, and I love it. It's been going well. We're sitting at about $225 per qualified call at the moment. We're still trying to improve the close rate because that's been tanking. But anyways, let's break down the VSL here. Now, you can see we have the eyebrow text, we have the headline, subhead, VSL, benefits, we have social proof. So this is where you should focus on. Like, this should be your main point of focus, right? You should be focused on this day and night. Your headline, you should spend 95% of your time just writing your headline. And I have prompts that you can use to generate headlines. Those need a bit more refinement, but I can share those with you in the description. I'm going to put it in the description. So you should focus a lot of your attention on the headline. Your headline should have a dream outcome. You should make sure that you're channeling all of the system that you use. You're channeling the dream outcome in that headline, and you're also giving them some curiosity as well to make them move to the next step. So that's what you need to do with your headline. If you look at this one, you're going to see, discover your true self, grow your business and effortlessly create your desired reality by solely focusing on your mind or your money back. You can see how this promises them the dream outcome, and the system is by focusing on their mind, which some people might find weird, but it is actually, a way to grow your business if you actually improve your mindset. And by the way, this kind of offer is RIP right now. We have a client who's doing incredibly well, multiple six figures with this kind of offer. When done right, it absolutely rips, like absolutely. Now, so for your VSL, B2B VSLs and B2C VSLs are very different. And before we go to the VSL, the subheadline should just be very simple. It should just reiterate what the headline has said and just push them to the next step. It doesn't need to be anything complicated. So very simple, very bare bones. You don't need to think much about it. So if we look at this one, you're going to see, discover how this timeless principles used by history's greatest achievers can transform your business and life in the next 90 days. Now, if we go to VSL, so B2B VSLs and B2C VSLs are very different. And you need to, approach them very differently as well, because when you're selling to someone, when you're selling to B2B, you're selling to a very mature audience, most likely, who typically have more skin in the game and more money, so you need logical points. You can't use emotional baits or emotional arguments. They're going to see through it. But B2C is very different because you can pull emotional arguments. You can tell them, oh, are you tired of working at your 9 to 5? Are you tired of seeing others win, but you're not winning? Are you tired of being bullied online? Stuff like that. Emotional arguments can get to a B2C audience. And when I talk about a B2C audience, I'm talking about people who are just getting into, fresh into the market. They have no experience, whether that be business experience or, just general experience in what you're trying to sell. So it's very different. So you can create bots with AI, and I'm going to share with you what the Gamma doc should look like. So this is how you create high converting B2B VSL scripts. So for B2B VSLs, like we said on the ad creation section, you need to find 10 transcripts from your qualified client sales calls. You need to upload those transcripts to ChatGPT, and you need to use the prompt below. Now, the prompt is analyze the provided sales call transcripts to create a comprehensive report. And this document is going to be in the description if you guys want it. The report should include the following elements: the objections and responses, basically the same thing it's just a bit different from the prompt that we have here, but let's go through. Identify the most common objections mentioned by prospects and list them out based on the descending order of frequency. Summarize the corresponding responses, highlight which responses were effective and which were not, if discernible. Number 2, questions asked by prospects. This is very important. Summarize the most common questions asked by prospects during the calls. Highlight what these questions reveal about the priorities or concerns. And when you put this into ChatGPT with the 10 call transcripts, you're going to get the objections, you're going to get the questions, and sometimes the questions are going to be very similar to the objections, but also it's going to give you some more context into the actual questions that these prospects asked on the call. So that way you can now let's say someone asked, what is the timeline for building out a landing page? I can go into my VSL and literally say, what is the timeline for building out a landing page? And I can answer that, if that makes sense. So all you're doing is fishing out all of the objections and questions that these people have, so that you can now go into your VSL and you can answer those questions. It's as simple as that. And credit to Daniel Fazio, by the way. He's the one who created this. I did not create it, but it's been working incredibly well for me and for my clients. Now, B2C VSLs, the first 30 seconds are the most important. So here you need to open with a pattern interrupt or fact that's relevant to the viewer, or a big statement. Example, according to this trust study, we're at the lowest levels of interpersonal trust of all time. Number 2, 60 to 90 seconds in, you need to state your big promise for the video. So at the end of the video, you'll learn how to do X, Y, and Z. Number 3, you need to build authority. You need to state who you are and why they should listen to you. Because if the only reason you're watching this video right now is probably because I have higher authority than you in building funnels and building out landing pages. And you trying to sell something to a customer or prospect, you need to have higher perceived authority than the person you're trying to sell to, or they're not going to listen to you. So you need to make sure you have higher authority. It's very important. And then after that, you need to go into problem identification. Now they feel like they can trust you just a little bit. You push it enough further, a little bit further, by identifying the problems that they have. So for example, you might be watching this video right now because X isn't working for you, etc. Number 5, you go into the solution, the mechanisms of the false solution as well. Speak about their current situation or the solutions they might have tried. Link those solutions to a current world event or stats so that it makes logical sense, right? So for example, you might think it's because of this, but it is actually because of this other thing. And then number 6, you show the real solution and link it to your product. So that's why we've created this system to help you solve X, Y, and Z. Number 7, you show them proof. This is working for this person. This is working for that person. These are all of the results. Number 8, you show them the call. You basically, do the call to action, and you do it in a specific way where it doesn't feel needy. A lot of people end their videos and it's very needy. So you need to tell them, if this makes sense for you, click the button to speak with us or enroll into the program. That way it feels like they're making the decision themselves, because humans like to make decisions themselves. They don't like to feel like they're being forced into making a decision. Number 9, you need to show them the crossroads, show them what their situation would look like if they take action as opposed to if they do not take action, right? So you need to juxtapose those two scenarios and show them clearly so that they can visualize it in their brain or in their mind, and they can see what's going to happen if they don't take action. Example, 90 days from now, your life could be completely different, but that won't happen if you don't take action, something like that, along those lines. And then number 10, you reiterate the CTAs. Now, VSLs and marketing, all of this stuff changes from time to time, right? It changes from time to time. No one can control it, but these are the fundamentals that you need if you want to get people to buy your B2B offer or B2C offer. Now, and you need to understand your business in order to do this, or you need to conduct research as well. So your landing page should flow in psychological progression based on the awareness levels of your audience. So a lot of people don't understand this, and they just put on a page, make it pretty. But when you have a landing page and it doesn't speak to it's not tailored to the psychological awareness of your audience, it's going to be very difficult for you to make money, or at least maximize the traffic that's coming, because you might be speaking to this audience, but then this audience feels left out. Like, you need to make it tailored to the awareness level of your audience. And that's why sometimes you need to create multiple landing pages for different traffic sources. So a landing page for cold traffic is very different from a landing page from organic traffic. And by the way, I know I'm overloading you guys with a ton of sauce. I don't think you've seen this sauce anywhere, but your landing page should flow in psychological progression based on the awareness levels of your audience, i.e. this means the people you're going after. And your VSL page can also be like a simple headline, sub-headline, VSL, CTA, social proof. And because if a short page doesn't work, then you test a longer one. But usually what we do is that, for B2B offers, like for high ticket offers, we start with short pages. And then if they do not work, I haven't seen a situation where, they didn't actually work. We actually need to test more to get more data. But usually for B2B offers, you start with longer pages, shorter pages, sorry. And for low ticket offers, we usually do longer pages for those ones. So keep that in mind whenever you're building out a funnel. It's very important. Let me bring this closer. So you guys can see the boy. Anyways, so you can take this entire framework that we have here, and literally you can drip feed it into ChatGPT alongside the information about your offer, and you'll be literally 50% done with your landing page. It's actually crazy. But the caveat is that you need to give it good information and give it great context, because if you want to get great results, you need to give good context, unless you're just going to be wasting a lot of time, to be honest with you. A ton of time, my friends. Anyways, after this section right here, the header section, you need to go into the problem section. Now, I've talked about this extensively on my channel, and if you go back to my other videos, you're definitely going to see me dig into this. But yeah, you need to dig into the problems, make them understand, articulate what the problems are. Because if you do this, just the way you've done in your ad and the way you've done in your landing page, this is going to keep buying you more trust. Because when you speak when you articulate about the problems that people are facing at that particular moment, or like if I tell you your exact problems at this moment, you're going to like automatically your brain likes me as a person, your brain trusts me, So it's extremely important for you to go into the problems first when you're using a long page, because that way you can now you can buy more trust with the prospect, because now you're explaining the problems. So the next thing here is going to be the mechanism of the false solution. And all you need here is a simple argument against the false solution. So this could be a product that they've tried in the past. It could be a method of solving the problem that they've come up with in the past. And you want to break that down and make them understand that this is actually not the solution to the problem. And then you go into the product. You want to tie the product into the solution. This is very important. It's extremely important. You want to make them understand what the actual solution is, and then you go into all of the benefits, and then you close it off with the CTA. And then for the qualification, I see a lot of people miss out on this. They don't add in qualifiers on their landing pages, and I guarantee you're not making as much money as you should be making because of qualifiers, because this is going to separate it's very simple how this works, right? You're telling people this is who this is for, and this is who this is not for, right? Some offers need you to put in effort on your end. Some offers need you to put in minimal effort. If you're someone who wants to come in and take control of our process in our company, you're not for us. You're coming in for us to help you and build out your funnel for you. And if you're trying to be controlling, then it's not going to work. But for some offers, they need to be involved. They need to put in a lot of work. So you need to make it clear who this is for. You need to make it clear Do they need to put in effort? Do they not need to put or what do they need to get started? How much time are they going to invest upfront? All of this stuff is extremely necessary, just so you create the right expectations, and also so you bring in the right people with the right expectations. Because if you don't, then you're going to have a lot of people who come in with the wrong expectations, and it's just going to, it's not going to be fun for you, basically. And it's going to save you and your sales team a lot of time as well. After that, you want to go into the offer section. The section is very simple. Some people, overdo it, and we certainly have tried this in the past, but you want to keep it very simple. And even if you want to do the thing where you want to add in prices for each of the deliverables in the product, don't make it outrageous. You can make it twice the actual amount that you want to charge. So that way it seems reasonable. Right? Because everybody knows you're not selling you don't have a product for $22,000 and now I can get it for $27. Like it's not happening. It's not happening. Cut the bullshit. So you need to keep it reasonable. Right? You need to keep it reasonable. If you want to do it at the reasonable range where it's, double the actual price of the product. So let's say you're selling a product for $1,500, you make it $3,000, cancel that out and tell them to get it today for $1,500. So that way it keeps it very believable as well. It's not necessary that you do that. As long as you have the value here and they see everything that it gets, it's not necessary you do that. The next section here is the story and authority building section. Here you just add in a personal story, just explaining to people and giving them a personal touch. And sometimes what could get one person, the logical arguments could get someone else to make a decision, but sometimes the emotional arguments, which is relating to someone. I've had people come to me, and the reason they come to me is because they love my story, they love that I'm persistent, they love that, I'm from Nigeria, but I'm able to do what I'm doing despite all of the circumstances and things against me. And a lot of people enjoy that story. So stories can move people because it's a lot more personal. It moves people. And I need to keep track of my arms. I don't know why I keep saying that. Anyways, pricing is the next one. And this is for a low ticket product. If you're selling a low ticket product, then you need a pricing. If not, then what you need is a type form or Calendly. Just depends on what mechanism you want to use for that. For the pricing, all you need to do is reiterate the benefits and close it off with the CTA. So reiterate those deliverables that you already showed them and close it off with the benefits. That's what you need to do. For the if you're selling a high ticket product, all of your CTAs, by the way, should open up your CTA should open up your type form, because sometimes people don't like to see the Calendly linked there. They don't like to see the type form. You can test this obviously, but from what I've seen with my own funnel, a lot of people are more prone to book a call when they click by themselves instead of seeing it on the page. Now, you could test this yourself. Like I said, marketing is all about testing, but this is what I've seen to work for myself. I need to keep saying these fucking arms. I need to stop saying them. Well, the money back guarantee is the next one, and this is for a low ticket product or mid ticket product. Sometimes we've had situations where we've added this on a high ticket product. For example, this one right here, this is a high ticket product, but we added in a money back guarantee. If I'm not wrong, let's see. Yeah, we have a money back guarantee here that says I had this here all the time. If for any reason you're not 100% satisfied, you are entitled to 100% refund. So you need to have that for low ticket, mid ticket product, and sometimes for high ticket product if you deem it necessary for your offer. The next one is your frequently asked questions, and just like the same way that we use to generate those prompts, to generate those objections and responses, that you can use that exact response that ChatGPT gives you, if you can remember from our transcripts here. So once it gives you those objections or responses and the questions, you now need to use this and create your FAQ and the 7 to 15 most asked questions. It might not be up to that. Sometimes it might be 5 or 6, and you just answer all of those questions in descending order of frequency. So the most asked question is going to be the first one. The second most asked question is going to be the second one, and then the least asked question is going to be the last one, if that makes sense. So descending order of frequency. Now let's move to the next one here, which is going to be thank you page. This is so important. A lot of people don't even have no clue, zero clue what they do on their thank you page, and I'm going to show you why. Now, people just have a thank you page that says, oh, thank you for booking a call. Make sure you show up. we're going to talk about this. They don't even go into detail, and it's just them, looking at the camera. This is wrong. Your thank you page should actually be a mechanism for you to do due diligence for your prospects. Before they hop on the call with you, it should be a mechanism for you to do your pre-framing and put them in the right frame of mind before they come on the call, for you to establish more authority. You need to show them social proof. Yes, you need to show them ways to confirm their call. It's extremely important that they confirm the call so that they can get the reminders and they don't miss the call. But you also need to use this as an opportunity to pre-frame them, put them in the right frame of mind, give them testimonials. Also, you can now do your due diligence by telling them and giving them visual examples or direct examples of when a client came on with you, or when someone signed up in your program and did not get the results that they were looking for, and why it happened, and how you can avoid that situation and make sure they have the best outcome. This is what I do on my thank you page, right? So like I said here, your thank you video should achieve 3 things. You should show them clear steps, next steps for confirmation on how the call is going to be conducted. It's going to pre-frame them. It's going to help them with due diligence. So you explain to them, show up to the call, please. If you have to reschedule for any reason, please let us know. No noise during the meetings. Please take the call from a computer, preferably. Don't take the call from a phone. Come to the call with our business partners. Our business partners should be present, because people can come on the call and make all sorts of excuses, and you don't want that. If you want to increase your close rate, you need to remove excuses as much as possible. You might not be able to remove every single one of them, but you need to remove as much excuses as you can, because that is going to now help you get to the close faster. Because some people are going to come on the call and they'll be like, oh, I have this meeting that I had to jump on, or I have to run now, or I have my business partner I need to speak to before I commit. And all of this stuff can extend your sales process. In order for you to shorten the sales process, you need to pre-frame them. Tell them, if you do not respond to the reminder sequences 2 hours after you send them out, you're going to cancel them. We actually do this in our business. We tell you, hey, if you do not respond within the next 2 hours or within the next 4 hours, you're actually going to cancel this call. And a lot of them, like every single one of them, gets a reply. Every single one of them. I can't remember an instance where that didn't work. So you make it very clear to them, put them in the right frame of mind, make them understand that you're trying to help them. They're not coming on to give you money for you to take the money and then do nothing with it. They're coming to you for you to help them. The frame here needs to be that you're higher than them. And also having more money than these clients also helps. But that's a story for another day. But you need to establish frame in your thank you video. You need to also, in that same video, do the due diligence for them. So that way they trust you, because most people are going to tell them, this is everything that could go right. This is everything that we've done for clients, wonderful things. But also when you're being honest with them about times where the relationship did not work out, that's going to make them trust you more. Who are they going to trust? Someone who they have to go do their due diligence on, or the due diligence for them. And credit to Jeremy Haynes. I found this, in one of his videos, and I implemented it, and it worked for me. I'm now passing the knowledge for you to help you make more money. So you need to do this in your thank you video. Is absolutely important. First of all, start with getting them to confirm the call. Show them clear steps. Click this, click yes to attend the call. Confirm the call, move you from spam to inbox when they get the invite. After that, you pre-frame them, you show them results. And after you show them the results, you now help them with due diligence. This is so important. It's extremely important. And it's going to make you way more money. Now, from the thank you page, we go into the reminder sequences. And we're going to go into the pre-framing sequence in a second. But the reminder sequence is, as you already know, very important. Most people don't do it right. So I'm going to show you how to do it right. Now, your reminder sequence should be triggered immediately, as well as your pre-framing sequence. These two sequences should be triggered immediately someone books a call. So your reminder sequence should be very simple. So after they book the call, your reminder sequence is triggered. You need a call confirmation email. You need a 24-hour reminder email. You need an 8-hour reminder email. And you need a 1-hour reminder email. On every single one of these emails, at least the call confirmation email, the 24-hour email, and the 8-hour reminder email should all have incentives. So you could give them, let's say you run a cold email agency, you're going to tell them, oh, and by the way, as a thank you for coming on this call, we're going to give you our scripts for writing cold emails that convert people from cold leads to booked calls. Let's say you run a video agency, you could say, as a thank you for coming on the call, we can give you these pre-made scripts for your YouTube channel. We could give you a free audit of your landing page. We could give you a free audit of your business. You want to give people incentives to show up. People don't want reminders, oh, show up to the call, show up to the call, show up to the call. Why do they have to show up to the call? What are they actually going to get out of showing up to the call? Most people don't understand this, and that's why I'm giving you the sauce. And by the way, if you like this video, if you think you're getting a lot of value from this video, like, subscribe, and also comment down if you have any questions. But let's get right into it. And if you need a landing page funnel or this kind of systems built into your business, you need to schedule a call with us if this makes sense for you, and we'll see if and how it can help you. It's very difficult to try to figure this out yourself. I've been there with many clients. They try to do this stuff themselves, but it never works out. They try to optimize, they try to build out the funnels and landing pages themselves, but they just don't. You don't know what you don't know. You just don't know what you don't know. We helped a client unlock $1 million in revenue that he didn't even know he was missing, that he didn't even know he was going to make, just because we came in, took up that part of the business, and helped him, freed up his time, built more higher converting landing pages, and he added $1 million in 4 months. So I highly recommend you do it if it makes sense for you, obviously. Now, let's go back to the video. So the reminder sequence here, so we have the email sequence should be triggered immediately. You should have your confirmation email telling them, hey, thank you for booking the call. These are the reasons why you should come on the call. We're going to give you an audit. We're going to give you a checklist. We're going to give you all of these resources that are going to help you just in case you decide you want to move forward. You don't want to move forward, or you want to go do it yourself. Give them incentives to show up to the call. People need incentives for everything. In life, friends need incentives. Family needs incentives. Business partners need incentives. Everyone needs incentives. I have an incentive for recording this video. The incentive is that I'm going to grow my subscribers. I'm going to make a lot of money, and hopefully make you a lot of money as well in the process. And everyone needs incentives. That's just the end of story, right? So all of this should be laced with incentives. Make it clear to them, confirm that they're coming to the call. Give them a 24-hour reminder, just checking in to see that you have all of the resources that you need to join the call. And also in the call confirmation email, send them to the thank you page again. Like, even we're going to go over this in the pre-framing sequence, but the pre-framing sequence, the first email, make sure you include your thank you page there, because they need to watch that thank you video in order to put them in the right frame of mind, because most people don't watch the thank you video immediately, or some people might not watch the thank you video, but then you get to resend it to them, and that way they get to watch it. So 24-hour reminder email, 8-hour reminder email, and then 1-hour email just telling them, hey, see you soon in an hour. Here's a link to join our call. Chat to you soon. And then the reminder sequence also has the text sequence part of it. Besides the email sequence, there's a text sequence. So after they book the call, you set as yourself should also send a confirmation message with a selfie video. This is something we've implemented at the moment. We make the selfie video look personalized, but it's not personalized, and there's a way that we do this stuff. You can show them, what you cover on a call, what to expect. So I usually go something like, hey, this is Brilliance. I just want to put a face to the name and walk you through some of the stuff that we have for our call by 11 a.m. Eastern time. And I do this from 10 a.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Eastern, 12. Like, I record videos saying this stuff. I have a video for 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 12 a.m., 12 p.m., 1 a.m., 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm about to record a bunch more because I just opened up my calendar. But you get the idea. You need to record a selfie video like this at your workspace, just explaining to them, hey, just trying to get you to reconfirm the call, and here's what we're going to go over on the call. Here's why you should come on, and also list these incentives. This is what you're going to get when you come on the call. You're going to get these free resources. You're going to get this checklist. You're going to get all of this stuff. This is why you should come on the call. You're not going to tell people, oh, please just come on the call so we can sell your product. It doesn't work that way. You need to give people incentives to show up. It's just like a webinar. People just say, oh, join this webinar. But what are people going to get by paying for a webinar or joining even a free webinar? You need to give people incentives. It's very crucial. So the video, should contain pre-framing material. So explain again, just like the thank you video, what you're going over on the call, testimonials, results that people have gotten, what kind of stuff they expect when they join your program, what modules are involved, what are they going to expect when they buy your service. All of this stuff is necessary for them to see so that they have most of the answers, questions answered before they come on a call. And then before the call, and you're also going to text them in between. This is just an overview, but just like your 24-hour, you don't have to do a 24-hour, 8-hour reminder for them. You could do a different sequence. It could just be texting them, just keeping in touch with them. But before the call, if they haven't responded, you need to make it clear to them that if they have been, if they have been totally unresponsive, make it clear that the call is going to be canceled if they don't respond. Every single time this works. Every single time it works. So always text them 1 hour before the call, 30 minutes before the call. Just make sure that they respond back to you, or tell them if they don't respond back, you're going to cancel the call. It puts you in the right frame. Now, that's it for the text sequence. Very simple there. And by the way, for the confirmation text, it could be something as simple as, hey, just checking in. My name is Brilliance from Linear Web. Just checking in to see that you've gotten the invite for the call by 4 p.m. EST. Please, can you let me know that this time zone works? Thank you. The time zone work and it's correct. Thank you. Stuff like that. And then you send a selfie video afterwards to introduce yourself. Now, we go on to the pre-framing sequence here. Now, this is one that I don't see people talking about. And the only people I know implemented this right now are me and a couple of other people. But this is essential if you want to get people to close. And there's multiple ways you can do this. It's not only done by email. There's something called a content ad strategy, and you can also implement something like this. But obviously, you need to have a robust team. You also need to have a lot of calls coming in order for you to do that effectively. So that's why if you're still starting out on a smaller scale, you just start with the pre-framing sequences, and then later down the line, when you're having a lot of calls coming in, you can now create these content ads that are going to go out after someone books a call with you. Now, so your first email that will go out is going to be objection handling. This email should contain, it's compulsory that it contains the thank you video, because some people are not going to watch the thank you video the first time that they come across it. You need to put in the link to the thank you page again in the first email. And even maybe even across multiple emails here, but personally for now, I just have it in the first email so that way when it goes out, people can view it. So all you're doing in this pre-framing is just putting people in the right frame of mind. It's in the name, pre-framing, right? Pre-framing, it's in the name. All you're doing is trying to get people in the right frame of mind. If people are not in the right frame of mind, when they come to the call, instead of this being a sales call, it turns into an educational call. There's a distinction there. When people come on a sales call, they just want to get the final questions answered. They're not asking you service level questions about how your stuff works, what this actually is. Some people come on calls and they ask me, there was a period in time where people come on the call, they ask me, what is the landing page? What is the funnel? And then I figured out, we have a framing problem. We have an education problem. So we need to educate these people over email to get them in the right frame of mind and get them closer. Even if the call is not a sales call, at least get them to inch closer to the call being a sales call. If that makes sense. So all of your emails, all of this need to be, I'm having fun with this, but all of these need to be objection handling. You handle one objection for each email. One objection, don't handle more than one objection for each email. One objection, social proof. One objection, social proof, objection, social proof, just like that. And then final call confirmation. This is going to be the last one. And there's many ways you can set this up. I set mine up in ActiveCampaign. You set up an automation, and you set up an event in the automation, which is going to be the entry point for anyone that's going to come through. And basically, when people book a call with you, they get added to a list. You need to create a list in ActiveCampaign. And when you create that list, I can make an extensive video about this later in the future. If you guys want it, just drop a comment if you want to see the setup, how to set up your ActiveCampaign pre-framing sequence. But when people come through the Calendly, they join a list. If they don't join a list, this is a very important point. If they don't join a list, the sequence is not going to send out to them. They need to join that list before the sequence sends out to them. So Calendly, list, and then the sequence is going to start sending out to them. Now, Let's pull this back for a second. I think I went over this as well. So basically, this is where you get to bombard them with a lot of information and bombard them with social proof. And also, these emails are going to contain, the call date plus time. And every single email will have the call date and have the call time as well. And inside these emails, you have YouTube videos, you have your social proof, you have your testimonials, you have your case study videos, and even your thank you video for pre-framing. So you bombard them with all of these objections that you're trying to, the questions that they have, and you're answering them in detail. It's very important. Answer it in detail so they have most of the answers before they come on the call. Let's get that out. Now that we have the pre-framing, and ideally you want to have 12 emails. We have 12 emails that go out over the course of 3 days, 72 hours. And once the call is done, the sequence is going to stop sending out. It's very effective, especially in GHL, because there's a mechanism where once the call is taken, if your call booking mechanism is directly in GHL, then the email is going to stop sending out. Active campaign, we're still trying to figure out what's the best way to turn it off after the call has been had. But anyways, it's still good information for them to have being sent to them. So 12 emails over the course of 72 hours, 4 hours between each one of them, and then maybe an 8-hour break just so you're not spamming them with emails. So if you send 1, 2, 3, you wait 8 hours, 1, 2, 3, you wait 8 hours, 1, 2, 3, and then you can add 4 hours at the end. Something of that nature. The next we'll go over here. So after this, they finally come on a call, and all of your pre-framing, if you have a pre-framing, this is going to determine if your call is actually going to be a discovery call, if it's going to be a sales call. So this is where you find out if your pre-framing actually worked. Right. So you go into the call, and you can see the prospect is asking a lot of questions, trying to figure out what your offer is, what you do. There your pre-framing did not work, and you have a bottleneck to fix. But if the prospect is asking questions that someone who is very close to the end of the actual sale is going to ask, then your pre-framing sequence worked, and you can even ask them. You're like, oh, did you read the emails? Did you watch the thank you video? Did you watch the VSL? Did you see all of the content that we put together in the emails? Did you go through all of that? And that's going to give you an idea of the kind of information they consume before they come in on the call. So on the discovery call, the prospect usually, if you have the discovery call, the prospect should be speaking 60% of the time, even 70% of the time, depending on where they are in the sales, where they are in the sales cycle, basically, like what amount of education they have about your offer. So like you said here, it's always better based on how your pre-framing is done. This could be a sales call or a discovery call for you. But it's always better to go with discovery first and then booking a call, because this way you also establish trust. Some people don't want to go straight away from the first call. They want to build trust. They want to speak to you. If our clients come to me and I followed up with them, over the course of like weeks, sometimes even months before they came on. But it is what it is. You always have to go with a discovery first mindset. Always ask questions, regardless of how good your pre-framing is. Always ask questions. Unless the person comes to the call and is like, hey, take my money. It's yours. Then you always need to ask questions, because you need to be a doctor on your sales call. You need to analyze, you need to figure out what this person wants, what the exact problems, what situations that you can tailor to these people, because everyone is going to have different problems. So you can't use one generalized solution for every single person. Someone might come to us and they don't need us to build out the landing page, but we can offer them consulting, and we're like, hey, we don't have to build out a landing page for you. We also have the consultant offer, which is $200 a call. Right now it's about $200 a call. It's obviously going to go up very, very soon, but for now it's $200 a box. So if you want to grab that, you can. We might have a link in the description, I'm not sure. But basically, you want to make it very clear that this is the discovery call. You're trying to figure out where they're at, and you're trying to see how and if you can help them. So with organic traffic, the first call a lot of times actually I've had the experience. I have a huge organic audience on X. The first call from organic traffic is usually going to be a sales call, because they've consumed a lot of information from you and they already trust you. They know, like, and trust you. But with cold traffic, it's different. They know you, but they don't necessarily like you or trust you. So it's when you come on the call, that's when you get to establish the likeness, and you get to make them trust you by showing your expertise and showing you don't even have to show your results, because people might not even believe your results. I've had a prospect tell me, oh, how do we actually verify that you build those projects? So you need to show expertise. You need to show competence on your sales calls. You need to show competence. Use a diagram like this. Like if you pull up this diagram on a sales call, like a diagram similar to this for whatever offer you have, and a prospect look at this, go, whoa, that's a lot. This guy knows his stuff. And you start breaking it down one by one. And this happened to me, like actually the day I'm recording this video today. This happened to me today. A prospect who came through, pretty much a cold prospect, came across one of my posts, doesn't follow anyone I'm following. We're not mutuals. And he came on and he literally said this to me word for word. He said, you showed me the projects, but there's no way to verify that you build those projects. But from the way you've explained everything, I like your presentation. I like the way you've explained everything to me. It shows you're an expert in what you're doing. And the guy paid on call. So very, very important lesson there. You need to show expertise on your sales call. This is what a lot of people don't do. They just go in asking questions. And yes, you want the person's money, but don't need the person's money, right? People can smell it when you need their money. I've been in situations like that, and I know. So you need to go in there with a lot of expertise, a lot of confidence, be competent, and that's the way you get to create confidence in your calls. And that way people can actually believe what you're saying, because it's just like you cannot fake it. You can't fake it. So go in there with competence. That's the most important thing. Show proof. Show them the results that you've gotten. Show them your customers and their testimonials, and them speaking about you is going to do way more than you speaking about yourself. And also let them speak. Let them ask the questions. And then, if you want to turn all your calls into sales calls with cold traffic, you need to conduct massive amounts of pre-framing before the call. And it's very difficult to do this, to be completely honest. And the only reason people need a second call is lack of trust. And they usually need more information, or they need to do their due diligence, or they're scared to invest a certain amount of money. And that's where you can say, okay, instead of going with a high ticket offer, we have a low ticket offer, we have a consultation, we have a template that you can go with, and then you can decide if you want to upgrade from that, or you want to stay there and just use the low ticket product. So pre-framing can also, lack of pre-framing can also extend your sales cycle dramatically, because no one wants to go through research. No one wants to do the work. Everyone is lazy, right? So you need to be proactive with sharing the information up front, because they're going to love you for giving them the information that they would otherwise have spent maybe hours searching for on the internet, trying to figure out if you're a scammer or you're not. So, and being a Nigerian, trust me, I know people don't trust Nigerians, but a lot of people trust me. And that means that, they've done their research and they've seen that, this guy's actually legit. So we are legit. We're the biggest in the space. Now, the next one here is a sales call. And here, ideally, the prospect is speaking 30% of the time. And you as a salesperson, as a business owner, is speaking 70% of the time, because you're showing them more competence, you're showing your expertise, and you're also giving them, trying to sell them on a product, basically trying to bring them on. And one thing as well is the reason why a discovery call to sales call sequence works is that people, just like I said, trust. When you tell people, okay, after this call, I'm going to go away with my team and try to figure out what works for you. And we're going to come back with you with a framework to build out your YouTube. You go back and you build out this massive Miro board, even if you have shitty information there. But when you come back, you have at least good information there that the client can implement immediately. They're like, oh, this guy actually went back, did all of this stuff, came up with this stuff. We didn't have to pay nothing. It's, showing us this framework that we can use. That creates a lot of trust, because now you've given them something without them even paying anything. So now they've seen what you can do. They're more inclined to pay. They're like, oh, if this guy actually gave me this, then imagine what is behind the paywall. So discovery to sales call actually helps build trust, but you also have to put in work before the second call, just to make sure that they show up to the call, because some people will end up ghosting you. Now, after you guys have spoken, then you get to the close, and that is the video. And I hope you guys got, I don't know if this is up to an hour, but I'm going to see, because this Loom cut off. But if you need this kind of system built out for your business, if you need a landing page, if you need a VSL, if you need a funnel, if you need this kind of back-end sequences, reminder sequences, pre-framing, if you need help with anything regarding to this sequence, we are going to help you build that if it makes sense for you. So we have multiple offers. We have our consultation, which is $200 an hour. We have our templates, which are $599 at this point. It should be going up very soon. We have our done for you offers, which you should check out. You need to book a call with us to see if and how we can help you with that. We have these offers. We also have a done with you offer where you come on, we do the design for you, and then you do the copywriting. We have all of these offers. So it really depends on what makes sense for you at the stage of your career. We also have a course that is going to be launching soon. So to make it very, very easy for people to be able to build landing pages themselves. So if you need help in any one of these areas, your landing page scripting, copy, your VSL scripting, your ads scripting, your landing page structuring, your design, your pre-framing sequences, your nurture sequences, your text sequences. If you need any of this stuff, just click the link in the description. It should be my direct, my personal calendar or my landing page, and you'll be able to schedule a consultation with us, and we'll see if and how we can help you. Only do this if it makes sense for you, right? We have a wide range of offers, and just pick the one that suits you there, or you can just schedule a consultation, and then we can go from there and see what works best for you. We like to be very transparent in our dealings, and if you even watch the video on my landing page, you're going to see all of the prices and everything, just so you have an idea before you come on the call. But like I said, we have a consultation offer, $200 an hour. We have the templates. We have the done with you. We also have the done for you. So whichever one works for you, click the link in the description, and also schedule a consultation. And also, if you got any value out of this, like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you want me to be dropping more in-depth videos like this, I don't think I've done one of this length ever before. So I might go this route. If you guys, give me a thumbs up and say that you love this stuff, leave a comment in the comment section and ask any questions you have. I'll be more than happy to go through it. There's a lot more in-depth stuff here. Trust me, we cannot go over everything in this video. It's absolutely impossible. So let me know if you guys want more stuff like this. If you have specific information because this is a wide range of subjects that we just covered. So if you have specific information, bits of questions that you have about different parts, just drop a comment below and I'm going to answer your question. With that being said, I love you guys. Peace. Share this video with your friends. It's going to help your friends out. I promise you. You already know it's going to help your friends out if it helped you out. So share this video with your friends. Like this video, subscribe, and I'm going to see you guys. Cheers. Bye-bye.